All right. Hello, everybody. Wowzers. Oh, my God. Look at that improved art. Holy schnapps. Wow. I was noticing it before, but yeah, the art absolutely did get better between episodes. Hello, Olga. Hello, Ponji. Welcome to the stream. Last time on Of the Devil, we finished up the first, second, god damn it. I hate it when things start counting with zero case. And it was an incredibly, tearful and really cool just epilogue to that first case. And now we've moved on to the second one, where Morgan has gone to pick up a certain device that allow her to be anonymous. However, the gang refused to... Yeah, it just is shaking. I think it's supposed to be on like a train. That's why. However, the gang that she went to refused to sell it to her. Let me get on the screen then. If it's giving you a headache. Sorry. And you can see what happened. But they also had a hostage in the back, so I wonder what she's gonna do with them. So, without further ado, let's get back into it. Barely got 3 centimeters into his neck. Must have hit a vertebra and stopped dead. Still got the job done after a few whacks, but... Well, it was my first time with a sword. And I'd never been very good at anything the first time. I've always needed lots of practice. Okay, the music should have deadened the sound of the gunfire. And that gun was heavily modified. If it somehow still has its tags, they can't possibly be functioning properly. So I've got a window of opportunity. First things first, gloves back on. Oh, he's still alive! Shit. Whoa! Someone's lively. Who the hell? Some kind of mod keeping him alive. A cruelty under his circumstances. I could hear that slug tear his intestines apart. The pain alone should have knocked him out cold. Yet his fingers are limp, his eyes sharp. Paralyzed. There are rules, I thought. Blood's pooling fast. You've got 4 minutes. 4 minutes? For what? Everything. You're no mega assassin. You're too talkative. Who sent you? Fox? Grey Lady? All that red. You're the Rust's newest rabbit dog. Caribou? It's cute how you all give each other nicknames. You're civilian. Where's the mask? Go to hell. You just looked right at the desk drawer. I thought you said you played poker. Need your keys. Civilian? Thief? A theft is victimless. It's robbery when violence is involved. So you're just out of your goddamn mind! I'm the last person you'll ever talk to, Creek. Your choice, but do you really want to be rude? You seem like you can take it. The key clicks into the small safe and I pull up on the door to reveal paperwork. Page after page of spreadsheets and diagrams and text, all printed in red. Is this important? So considerate. Nah, just throw it anywhere. Okay. I was joking! 3 minutes now. Sarcasm will cost you time you don't have. There it is. A gleaming darkness at the back of the safe.
So that's it. You, all this, all of us. For that. Just for that!
I get asked that question a lot. Would you feel better if I killed you for a different reason? If I had a good reason for blowing a hole in your stomach, would it have hurt any less? You've still got more than 2 minutes, plenty of time. I could spin up whatever fairy tale you'd like to put you to bed. I bring the mask to my face, and for a brief moment the surface seems to writhe. Is it trying to adjust itself to me?
Suppose it makes sense. You wanted a mask so bad. If I was as hideous as you on the inside, I wouldn't want to go barefaced either. You didn't have? Must be the worst kind of feeling. Being seen. Seen by someone you can't even hurt anymore. Well, I see you. Heartbreak. Yeah. Big, bad, faceless heartbreak. I'm just a dumbass punk. I can...
Don't flatter yourself. It's not that you're particularly perceptive. I just don't have anything to hide when a corpse is talking.
First honest thing you said. So what gives, HBK? You're clearly not an idealist. All the terrorism, rebellious theories out the window. Go around killing cause your daddy smack you around. Your mommy not hug you enough.
My father never laid a hand on me. My mother hugged me. A sufficient amount.
So what the hell's your excuse?
I don't make excuses.
Then what the hell's wrong with you?
Less than a minute now. I could spend that time making up a diagnosis if you'd like. Or would you prefer I just come over there and squeeze?
Oh, how many?
Another question straight out of the greatest hits. How can I put this? She's using the JoJo thing! How many times have you eaten bread?
Never. Got a gluten thing, bitch!
Whatever. Point is, I am not a collector. This is not my hobby. I do not keep count. There is no code. I do what I want as often as I want to.
Do what thou wilt. Whole of the law. Is that it?
I don't know what you're referencing. But from where you're sitting, do I really look like the law-abiding type? I'll bring the mask down to my face, and again its surface seems to shudder.
Forget it. At least I know. You deserve what's coming.
I've heard a lot of empty threats in people's last moments, Creek. They're never that memorable.
Told you that mask was a death sentence. That it was spoken for. They called the huntsman from overseas home turf. Huntsman can become anyone, go anywhere, kill anything. Just to come over and slaughter the rust. That mask was part of his payment. He'll be looking for it.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Finders keepers.
Forget it. I don't need to scare you. Huntsman. Hunter. Too much meaning. Lost. I always thought better translation was pelt taker. He'll find you, flay you alive, wear your skin, and go around and murder everyone you love. Oh, what a face. Should've taken you up on dipping out early. Anything beat dying, staring at a face like that.
So, a huntsman coming to get me. The dead and dying make for strong bluffers. And I've seen more than a few of them try their hand at improv. Time to move. I need to scuff things up a bit more, make this look more like an orca shootout than, well, a visit from me. Tam. Weapons are inherently disposable. I can kill with anything. So I never bothered to retrieve one from a dead man's grip. But... I might have need for a knife again, shortly. So I'll be taking this back, Miller. I had to pry. Why is it that the dead are always grasping? The sword was not worth the effort. Lesson learned, but now I have to remove it for this next part. His eyes. Can't tell the model from the outside, but I could make a strong indicated guess at the price range. If they back up any data, it can't be more often than once an hour. It'll be 10 o'clock soon. I'm gonna need something with some heft to it. Skull. See no evil. Well, the bet's definitely spent. Damn, she must be strong as hell. But his eyes are no longer a problem. And the sword is fine where it is. I'm not gonna tempt fate and risk nicking myself with it. That's all the burning issues addressed. Time to take care of the chores. I had to remove my glove to convince them I could use the dark card. That means I handle all the murder weapons with my bare hands. Obviously, I'll need to wipe my prints off this gun and my knife. But I put my gloves on before opening Creek's safe and cracking Trey's skull. So what does that leave? Focus. No mistakes. The sword, for starters. The sword. I gripped the handle with both hands when I brought it down on his neck. Thinking back, I dragged the tip across the floor, didn't I? Shit. Probably got Miller's blood on it. That's sloppy. And stupid. Why the hell did I... No, forget it. There's nothing I can do about it anyway. Fingerprints can be wiped, but there's no cleaning agent on Earth that can hide blood from a modern forensics team. And I'm not looking to do an encore performance of my reaction to those goddamn fickle bobbies. Right, the keys I took off and opened the safe. The Blue Bloods are going to find out I took the mask eventually. But I see no reason to give them any hints. And on the off chance the police get here first, I'd rather they not investigate this as a robbery. All that's to say, you can have these back, Creek. The dark card played its role as bait perfectly, even if it's the reason I'm having to go around wiping off prints. I'll never be able to pull funds off it, but I might be able to use it again if... Huh, it's stuck. Creek must have dropped it harder than I realized. Getting shot in the stomach doesn't help with handling delicate electronics. No way I'm gonna risk taking the whole reader with me. It could have any number of pings and strings leading back to the manufacturer, or even the Blue Bloods themselves. No, I'll wipe the dark card off and then set the whole reader back on the desk. For all anyone knows, Creek's pod mugged it off some slummer, and we're trying in vain to get beer money off it. This is the remote I used to distract the big guy. I need to wipe my prints off it, of course, but should I turn the music back off? No, it was playing when I first walked in. Best to preserve continuity. And besides, what was it he said? We like it loud, screws with bugs. He was right about that much. A little smoke screen never hurts. What am I forgetting? Seriously, what am I forgetting? Huh. Damn, I'm pressing control. Or was it to auto-find? Damn, I really can't see anything. Huh. Huh. What am I missing? Huh. What the fuck am I missing? I guess there's gotta be something. Fuck. Like, not even control is, it says control is check, right? I mean, control is auto-find. Like, didn't it always do it automatically? Ah, jeez, I really can't find anything. I've been clicking on, like, on mouse over forever. Like, what the? I never had to click advance before. Advance was always like if you want to skip stuff. Oh, jeez. Yeah, there's gotta be something. Am I gonna have to look this up? Jeez. Let's see. I don't see. I don't see anything. God damn. Huh. Where the fuck? There's supposed to be a let me look at the... Hold on, let me look at the backlog. Yeah, I looked at the remote, the card, and the sword. I didn't smoke, so I don't cigarette. I returned the keys. Yeah, God. I think... Ah, I hate this! God damn it! Yes, okay, this feels like the scenes. Okay, that was it. God damn it! For fuck's sake. That was it. Ah, jeez. Fuck me. Like the scene's been set. It's a strange sensation, erasing your own presence. A sense of supremely private accomplishment. Like placing the last piece into a milk-white jigsaw puzzle, and then throwing it in the trash. It's not unpleasant, but I can't linger here any longer to savor it. Time to draw this to a close. Thank God for the mask. I can still tell it smells god-awful in here, but it's bearable. Rehydrated sweat and vomit. Scents full of adrenaline and sickly heat. Unfiltered, I'd be at risk of getting sick. If it weren't for all the blood. Right. What to do with you? Blindfolded, gagged, hands bound above him with plastic ties and linen wrappings, beaten bloody and drugged. These syringes. They wanted him to stay conscious. Not very popular, are you? Still, you're not dead. And with these kinds of injuries, you won't die soon. Not without a push. That might be the most charitable thing to do under these circumstances. He must have wished for death at least once during all this torture. Too bad. The bat that barred this door is now in splinters. Anyone walking in after me won't realize that this room was locked from the outside. If this captive had somehow gotten his hands on a blade, there'd be nothing stopping him from stepping out of here and butchering his captors. The Blue Bloods will want someone to blame for the deaths of 4 of their men. And unlike the police, they won't bother arresting an innocent man and putting him up on trial for the world to see. They'll wrap things up for me. Hold that for me. As for the gun... What was it? Like it was tuck the gun into your waistband, pal. Oh. Okay, I can see how that would be distressing under the circumstances. Well, you can relax about that. It's not loaded. A few minutes from now, you're going to wish it was. Out again already? Rest up while you can. When you wake up, you'll want to start running. $3:35, August 14th. Like I practiced. Hirashai. Pardon?
Keep working on it, kid.
Bar Kintsugi. Didn't mean to interrupt you in the middle of training a new employee. How's it working out?
She's, is she, right? Never worked this close with an ad before.
She is unbearably forgiving, so I doubt you'll get sued.
She's fine, good at cleaning, precise with mixing, knows a hell of a lot of trivia. Popular with the younger crowd, I think. This is the place for the android bartender. Tell Clay install a new karaoke machine.
I didn't know you had a younger crowd.
Funny. What does that make you, Grandma? More of a learning curve to her than I was suspecting. Too cheap out on base installs? Like I have to teach her everything.
Trust me, there's nothing cheap about Serra. Paralegal apprentice Kinetsugi. Likes split field diopter. What is that? Wing Chun, folding clothes. This likes mops, fire alarms, variety packs. Useless talent, I can do a full split, but that is not useless. If your quote, as you think so, you shall become. Question. I tried to use Adnoith's makeup and broke a lipstick. That is cute. Hello, twat, welcome to the stream. But yes, she can take a minute when learning the ropes. Grin and bear it a little while longer. Once she does find her footing, she'll have you worried about your job security in no time.
Keep it up. I didn't have to do the favor of irony, you know.
Favor?
Plenty of people out there would kill to work an up-and-coming bespoke establishment like Bach and Suki.
I think I hear them pounding on the door now. Technically, legally, you didn't hire anyone. I generously agreed to loan you my android during the hours when I have no use for it. These kind of arrangements aren't uncommon. Androids can, in theory, work 24 hours a day indefinitely, but their users can't. Parents come home from work, people go to sleep, staff take holidays, offices close for the night. The end result of all that slack is that a lot of androids spend a good portion of their operating time waiting around. So the more enterprising owners loan them out during that downtime. Ideally to businessmen with complementary working hours. There are plenty of apps and HR software to help arrange it all. But Serra's apprenticeship wasn't that on the books. After the fallout around David's death settled down, I came to realize exactly how shortchanged I was in our paralegal agreement. She's handy for research and rote work, of course, but she barely sleeps, rarely eats, finishes paperwork at lightning speed. I was spending more time finding shit to keep her busy than I was actually working. And of course, I value my alone time. It was on one of those long walks of mine that I recalled Reinhardt was having trouble getting this bar up and running. Takes a village to keep the world's most advanced android busy.
Yeah, alone, whatever. Sarah's the one who clocks in and clocks out. Does the work, cleans the bathroom, she's the employee.
If she was an employee, you would have to cover her benefits.
Not my current income bracket. I checked 3 times. Wait, you're not taking a paycheck, are you?
It's not a paycheck.
Don't lawyer me on this shit.
Serra can't earn a paycheck. She's not a person.
Walks like a person, talks like a person, and works like a person.
The Supreme Court disagrees. By 13-0.
Yeah, well, Supreme Court's been wrong about that kind of thing before, haven't they? Do I hear a...
Touché. Serra, tell boss here what you spend your salary on. I've started purchasing cases of wine.
What? Wait, that's what those deliveries were?
As the wine appreciates, its resale value will increase, especially if I can predict which vintages will be in high demand. Since I don't have a bank account, I can't earn interest in the traditional sense, but if I stay up to date on the sommelier reviews. So you'll resell the wine at a profit, and what'll you do with that money?
Stop it, you're making her depressed.
I did also purchase a cachet of sheet music. What? What for? Practice. You're muttering. Forget it, none of my business. Ah, my God, she's gonna go our Dorothy. Our Dorothy Rainwright on us here. That's nice. Speaking of business, this place isn't exactly packed.
Well, are you volunteering to help with that? There are lawyer bars, right? You know lawyers go after trials. Kensuke could be a lawyer bar.
Yes, those lawyers' bars are usually close to the courthouse, though.
Just don't. Everything's signed and paid. I can't think about what ifs on location anymore. It's a spot that was available and I...
Hello, humanitarian Aldrich. Welcome to the stream.
I need a soda water with all this stress on my stomach. Serra, 10 bar.
What are you buying, stranger? What was that? Boss has been teaching me his barside manner. He says that his clientele expect a certain degree of maturity when they come here. Oh. What are you buying, stranger? And so you're using a deeper voice? Is it not working? Please let me know when you're ready to order. It's a well-stocked bar. Got tea and coffee too, if that's what you're into. Nice ambiance, soft lighting, warm on a chill night and cool on a hot day. Now all that's left to do is wait for the customers to stream in. Any day now. Ryan must have searched for a month to find affordable underground real estate that wasn't flooded. Already filled to the brim with server farms. Putting Serra on cleaning duty was a good call. If any of the tiling in here starts to grime up, it could start feeling like a subway station bathroom real fast. It does look super nice. Also, this Danganronpa-esque music is really cute. I love it. Did someone leave this behind after their lunch break? Could be trouble if they left anything work-related on here. I'll help them out by throwing it in the trash. After I'm done reading, of course. Sirius debuts new fuel named a new lawsuit. Last month, Dr. Sirius made waves in the scientific community for the dozenth time in their storied career when they announced that they had patented the process for distilling a new helium-based fuel. Helium? Interesting. One intended to replace hydrogen in combustion engines, ranging from personal vehicles to full-size freighters. Wowzers. Only a few days later, they made headlines again when the patent was leaked to the global net. Now, Proteka, an investment firm and longtime financial backer of Dr. Sirius, has filed a lawsuit alleging that not only that Dr. Sirius failed in their responsibilities to protect their investment, but actually allowed the leak to occur. We sat down with Dr. Sirius to ask them to respond to the suit's allegation and to question them about their recurring legal woes. For those who may not be familiar, what makes your process for distilling helium fuel so valuable? In this world, if you're not plugged into an outlet, you're running on a battery or burning fuel. Batteries are useful, but they scale poorly. A battery-powered phone is light enough to be weightless in your pocket. A battery-powered plane couldn't generate enough lift to get off the ground. Now, aside from a number of closely guarded national reserves, there are no fossil fuels left. The wells were pumped dry years ago. So after we were forced to adapt to a rather abrupt period of growing pains, hydrogen has become the global standard for fueling long-distance machinery. Therein lies the problem. Damn, wow, it finally happened. Makes sense. When such a thing happens, I do not want to be around. Global fucking wars for sure. The plane I took to get here runs on hydrogen. It produces nothing but water vapor. What's the problem? The problem is that the laborers fueling your plane before it took off had their fingers crossed for the entire time, afraid that if the absolute grounding field failed, one static spark could blow up the whole airport. What makes helium superior? The helium-2 fuel we've developed is non-pure helium, to be clear, but near enough. Unlike hydrogen fuels, what we've created is non-combustible. You could fire a flamethrower over a tank of it and remain perfectly safe. How does a non-combustible fuel power combustion engines? He2 is non-combustible, but in the presence of our specialized catalyst, it can be ignited to generate force comparable to, or in some tests superior to, horsepower exhibited by hydrogen engines. What's the catch? So far, it's expensive to distill, and the catalyst materials are even more expensive to produce. We have yet to even simulate a profitable commercial flight, for instance. That's a pretty serious catch. Steel wasn't profitable before the Bessemer process. Things panned out for the steel tycoons just fine. Are you hoping for someone else to do that? Improve on your process? I know where you're going with this, but the answer is yes, of course. I'd be overjoyed for someone to improve on what we've built. That's essentially what Proteka is accused you of doing, isn't it? Leaking your data intentionally so that others around the world are free to start experimenting with it. I don't think that's legally wise of me to try to summarize Proteka's lawsuit against me and my laboratory. Listen, energy is limitless. It cannot be expended. By that virtue, there cannot be a scarcity of it. You'll never have a monopoly of it. And since it is infinite, the correct market price for it will, over a long enough time scale, trend to zero. I don't think I'm being cynical when I say there are people who don't like that very basic math. I'm going to stop you there because you're getting into our next topic, your politics. Do you consider yourself a political person? No. Are you or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? No. Do you believe science should be apolitical? Yes. So why is it that you're frequently involved as an example, invoked as an example of the liberal bias in the sciences? Science is not political. Science is progress. Moving forward, learning more about our universe, deepening our understanding of its mechanics, and that process will never be conservative. Science doesn't move backwards. Calling all conservatives backwards is not what I said, but you're free to interpret as you like. What's not open to debate is this. What makes something science has nothing to do with who works on it. It has nothing to do with class or power or money or even majority rule. Science is reproducible. No miracles required. Miracles are prohibited. If one person can do it, anyone can do it, and so science is inherently egalitarian. If someone feels that because of that science has a bias against them, then that speaks only to their own politics, and not to the failings of the scientific community to log into your Review Plus account with your passkey or net provider to finish reading this article and see so much more. For a pop-sci figurehead, Serra sure keeps busy. Guess I don't have any evidence proving they aren't legitimately brilliant. But I can't take seriously anyone who guest stars on TV that much. Can't deny they seem to be making progress with new kinds of... I always gotta be safe. Always gotta be safe. New fuels. Some of the only new fuels we've seen in decades. Could be decades longer before it's actually practical. But any new fuel has to be less volatile than hydrogen. Please don't throw that datapad out. Its owner might come back. Perish the thought. Though, now that you planted the idea into my head... A self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a lucky cat. Yeah. Did you just say something, Adonai? No. I suddenly got the strong impression that there was something you suddenly wanted to say. Don't know what you're talking about. As you say. Neko unlocked. I think I'm ready to order. Of course.
Nah, I'll take this, Serra. Go wipe the tables for a bit.
No one has sat with them since I last cleaned them.
Then pretend to clean them like a normal employee.
Understood. What's got you so tense?
Take a wild guess.
Did Serra ask for a raise?
Be serious, Fred. What happened last night?
Your information was accurate for the most part. A pot of mid-level blue bloods had it. Seemed like they were told to sit on it.
Were they willing to sell?
Nope. Laughed at my price, called me a spoiled meg, and kicked my butt out the door.
They weren't curious where you got your information from.
Honestly, no. They rushed me out of there pretty fast once they heard my offer.
Were they expecting more company?
I got the impression they had work to get back to.
Okay. Anything else I should know?
No.
Anything you want to ask me?
How did you two meet?
The tables.
On my second date, you told me not to over-polish them in order to keep things lovey.
Lo-fi.
Is that inappropriate of a question? You've lived in the city for decades, boss. But Ad and I didn't move here until she started her apprenticeship at Masters in Math. If you're going to tell my people my whole life story at any possible opportunity, I'll just shred my resume and start mailing you around instead.
We met, huh? Well, that story's
Not very good. I'll skip to the end and cut to the heart of our relationship, Serra. I pay Reinhardt a finder's fee, and he tells me where I can get into high-stakes poker games. It's not a lie. Now you know my terrible secret. Disappointed? It's not illegal to gamble. I don't go on my phone and wager my paycheck stubs on point spreads. I gamble. And since I can't afford the entrance fees for one of those anonymous masked ball cult vibe blimp casinos that the rich go to, I got your boss here to find me tables to play at.
guilty.
So you travel to the lower wards to gamble illegally. Truth be told, I've had my suspicions. Seeing you go out at such odd hours, without so much as your phone. You could have turned me in. Irashai. Or is it more firm? Irashai. Two firm-looking men finally pressed black suits, with shades tinted so dark they must need modded eyes to see from behind them. Despite the subtle color palette, they stand out. It's hard not to in clothes that look that expensive. Clothes with some kind of pin on them. Matching pins.
More emphasis on the raw.
Oh, thank you.
Think I just heard delivery drones bumping around outside, Serra. Check out the back. Your vintages might have arrived.
Go on. Please excuse me then.
Afternoon then, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
Mr. Diamante. Pardon us for dropping in without first making an appointment.
No trouble at all. Still getting the place cleaned up? I'm awfully embarrassed I failed to realize properly lay within your borders. Come with me to the back. I'm happy to settle whatever debt
We look like petty landlords to you? If you owed us tribute, you'd know it by now.
My mistake. Well, if you're here for information, I'll gladly wheel and deal. How about you?
We're not here to shop, either. We're here looking for Morgan. Well, that name ring any bells, Mr. Diamani?
Right. Listen, boys, I'm not sure.
Sorry. Had something blaring in my earbud. I'm A. Morgan, Esquire specifically. How can I be of service? I mostly practice criminal defense, but I do offer a few other services. You two look corporate. I can recommend some good workplace attorneys. I've got a business card somewhere.
We're not interested in that.
Of course not. Well, I'm flattered that you've come all the way here to find me. You must have already tried the home office. We can set something up for...
You need to come with us now, ma'am.
Hey, I thought you said there was nothing I need to know.
Business day's over for me, gentlemen. Can this matter wait until tomorrow?
Does it look like it can?
Great manners, this one. Time sensitive, then. My rate will have to reflect that.
Send us the bill. We can afford it.
Music to any lawyer's ears. So, who is this mysterious we, then? This royal we?
You think you're funny?
Compared to you.
Morgan? These fine gentlemen are from House Icaria.
We know. Hey, there we go. I'm familiar. Oh my god.
You are?
I've seen their name in the papers. Plastering the name all over uptown opera houses and homes for the sick or whatever. Though I didn't recognize that name when the Blue Bloods were cursing it last night. So maybe the propaganda's working.
Doesn't matter how generous they are regardless. It's just the richest, most powerful criminal organization in the city.
Rich and powerful. Right? Why even bother with the criminal qualifier?
Sorry. Might I ask about the nature of this engagement?
The situation is developing, Mr. Diamani. We appreciate your patience.
That's not what you want to hear.
So I gathered.
Your presence has been requested at the family estate, ma'am.
For business or...
The Acadia are always business. Shall we get you your coat?
Such gentlemen. Knew those suits weren't just for show. I can see myself out just fine, though. Adonai. What's going on? Are you going somewhere? That's why they pay me the big bucks. These men are very athletic. But perhaps I should come with you. If they want to arm wrestle, you'll be the first to know.
Call me when you get there, yeah?
If I'm actually in danger, I won't even be conscious when I arrive, but I appreciate the thought. Boss, who were those men, really?
New clients from Morgan, really. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Because if Alcicardia puts her on retainer, she'll be able to buy you as much wine as you like.
But what do you mean by house?
Alright, pay attention. If I'm gonna lecture, I might as well try to teach. Start with ice. Want a lot of it below surface area. Never use crushed, okay? Start cementing the liquor. Water the whole thing down.
Understood.
1.5 ounces of vodka. What do we look for in a good vodka?
Smoothness.
Correct. It's a mark of quality, making the bit go down easy. So the nobility. Know what that is?
Historically, the ruling class, as enforced through economical military might and maintained by familial relations.
Juice syrup of a full lime. Looks for a little sprig and consistent color across the skin. Nobility. Old money. Another word for it. And the older it is, the slower it moves. Only so much wealth you could acquire or accrue in one lifetime, collecting from serfs and selling horses. But the Industrial Revolution comes along, shows the world what real wealth acquisition looks like, then they get new money. Which always dwarfs old money. Inflation and split inheritances shave away at any generational wealth that's liquid. Now, new money and old money, they don't like each other.
Does new money eventually become old money?
If the old money can help it, no one ever becomes old money. Triple sec, 1 ounce. My family was new money. Tried to make the transition, join the right clubs, shake the right hands, make the right marriages. Laugh at the bad jokes.
Bad jokes can be entertaining in their own right.
Not the kind of bad I'm talking about.
I don't understand.
It's alright, you shouldn't need to know.
But what do you mean your family was new money?
Times changed. About 30 years ago, recession, depression, civil unrest, political upheaval. Most people, they were so scared they could barely think about tomorrow, let alone next year. But a decent man's chaos is a cruel man's investment opportunity. So while everyone else is panic selling off everything they could buy, too good to buy food and water, a certain type of personality was buying, for pennies on the dollar, as it were. Give me a peel from that lime, shallow as possible. And the white you see is just bitter. 1 ounce of gin. They were rough years, but they passed. The end of it all, some were left standing with a lot more they came in with.
New money.
A new kind of money, the new nobility, neo-bility, if you're on the think piece. Unabashed oligarchs and devourer barons. When governments of the world tried to re-privatize the industries they had taken over with emergency powers, they were there to snatch them. And they started at the bottom. Steel, fuel, grain, machine parts, medicine. He rented house Acadia. Oh, that's how they exited. They went into the red decade of the Acadia cartel. Drug smugglers and extortionists, thieves and murderers. They came out as one of those richest, most respectable names in the country. Not that they actually stopped doing any of that thieving and murdering, mind you. But on top on tight and shake.
So they are a crime family, like the mob.
This is the 21st century, kid. It's muddier than that. Acadia is not literally one family, not even one race or creed. They're simply the strongest criminal organization in the city, on paper.
But not in practice.
Practice is what they're lacking. Haven't had to get their hands dirty, haven't had to maintain a presence in lower wards in years. They make their profits from investments, blackmail and more, and a little inside trading. So they're criminal, yes, but their muscles atrophied. Time for a taste test. Oh, that's not right at all. How did I forget?
Boss. There must have been other criminal organizations 30 years ago. Others supposed to take advantage of the changing times.
Yeah.
So what did the Acadia do to set themselves apart from the rest back then?
Stupid most important ingredient.
What? God damn it, oh!
Drop of grenadine. Lady Maria.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's nothing. These are frosted glass if this were a customer. Looks like a ruby in the right lighting. If you do end up helping Red work with the Acadia, don't let the warmth of their golden furnishings confuse you. All that glitters is cold.
August 14th. It was a quiet and uneventful drive in the back of the limousine. The privacy, at least, was nice. But with Abbott and Costello riding in the front, I had no way of getting information out of them, not even passively. Wow, that for Morgan to make that reference, could also be child blood. Yeah, damn. Yeah, either childhood or child blood. Yeah, damn. So instead, I spent the whole ride trying to play out all the different ways that this could go. I haven't liked any of them so far. I suppose I should have felt relief or gratitude when we pulled up outside of an imposing skyscraper instead of an alley. I suppose it's a good sign that no one's put a bag over my head or stuck a needle in my neck. But I don't feel like celebrating. For all I know, they really don't have a clue about what I did in the lower wards last night. But for some reason they placed their attention on me. And there's little I hate more than unwanted advances. I'm also not a fan of being made to wait. Why am I just sitting out here? In here? Oh, wow. It's an indoor, yeah.
We were too late. Only by a few minutes. He filled the time slot. Already, then we've got no chance of... Maybe if his other meeting went well.
Are we on hold, gentlemen? In the world's most expensive waiting room?
Quiet!
I take it he's glaring at me behind those lenses, but I'm more interested in the sweat glistening on his forehead. Somehow, of the three of us, I'm the most relaxed. This is becoming embarrassing. Can I at least take in the view while we're here?
You can take photos if you like, so long as you're quiet.
Really?
No, your phone won't work in here.
Go figure. The illusion isn't unimpressive, I guess. Windows into the heavens sparkling like raindrops across a puddle. It might even be appealing if it wasn't trying to be something it's not. You look up and see hexagons above you in the lower wards, too. Rich or poor, people just can't imagine themselves under an open sky anymore. Not even in their wildest dreams. If I weren't hyper-aware of the flickering sky hanging over my head, this could make for a lovely watering hole. But those probably aren't even real fish down there. Literal children are capable of keeping goldfish alive, so of course the 0.1%ers can't manage it. Maybe they'd spin it. When their pallid bodies float to the top because of some idiot raised the water temperature 2 degrees, they'd certainly be easy to scoop out. If you're an impatient, undignified idiot, you could argue that it's an efficient way to fish. Is it trying to look too hard to look unconcerned if I sit down and start reading the news? Maybe. But my boredom outweighs my apprehension at the moment. Not my fault they fail to be sufficiently intimidating. PSS Proposition City ahead of next month's convention. Next month, the city will play host to one of those competitive political conventions in recent memory, with Senator Mathings expected to face significant opposition from party outliers before securing his nomination. But while the broader nation eagerly anticipates the oncoming political circus, city officials are already under fire for supposed lack of sufficient convention security. The city has already approved a record-high monthly budget for the police department, including fully unrestricted overtime for officers of all ranks. But a coalition of private security services, including Whiteadder, Fang, and Demico has released a press statement urging City Council to consider contracting their services ahead of the convention.
Heartbreak was bad enough. Now we're hearing the cops are dying in the lower wards. When are city officials going to say enough is enough?
Cops too, huh? Said Demico head of press relations, Arthur Gall.
We have the utmost respect for all first responders. None of us are blaming the hard-working police for these failures. How could they succeed when political insiders insist that they try to apprehend criminals with one hand tied behind their back? Our contracted forces have world-class training in crowd pacification, preemptive de-escalation, and enhanced interrogation tactics. And any of the subhuman scum who empathize with their anarchists won't dare to leave their mothers' basements once we get out their boots on the ground. That's a guarantee.
City Council declined to comment when we reached out to them to ask whether they would be issuing a request for proposals on such services. The Turtle City population is expected to swell next month as the national political spotlight draws lobbyists, delegates, political action committees, and voters in ahead of the 2-week-long process. Most of the community members we spoke to expressed optimism about the increase in economic activity and tourism the convention is expected to bring. But some who refused to give us their permission to publish their identifying info rudely and loudly voiced their criticism.
2 weeks for a convention when the nominee was decided 2 years ago? It's a joke and with a punchline.
Footing the bill to pay cops to stand around outside of parties full of thousands of do-nothing staffers and campaign managers. This article is presented to you advertiser-free thanks to contributions of our generous donors, including Daniel Mass of the Daniel Mass Foundation, Rebecca E. Jones of the Rebecca E. Jones Foundation, Jessica and Ronald McGuile of the McGuile Foundation for the Arts and Sciences, the Rockford Fund for Public Broadcasting. Rockford, huh? And readers like you. Thank you. Please sign in to read the rest. Huh, Rockford, huh? I suppose it's less offensive than a bare advertisement on or paywall. But why list your donors mid-article? All it does is make my eyes glaze over. Whatever, I get the important part. The city's hosting that convention next month. Putting pressure on the council to vote on. Always gotta save. Whether or not to bring in private security contractors on top of the massive policing budget. It makes little difference to me. Cops and mercs have different quirks, but they all share the same blind spots. I'll be just fine. How the average law-abiding citizen will put up with them clogging the streets for 2 weeks, though. Not like it'll be the least popular political decision made next month. Everyone knows Mathings will be the candidate. That was decided years ago. The contested convention will just be him finding a balance between how much public opposition he's willing to stomach against how many favors he feels like giving out. Ooh, I wonder if something's gonna happen then. This country's already a circus without any bread. You'd think the least they could do is make the performances entertaining. What was that in the article about cops dying in the lower wards, anyway? Pretty heavy-handed just to make up that kind of thing, even when pearl clutching and pitching yourself at the same time. Was one of those guys she killed actually an undercover cop? Oh my god. That would be crazy if so. Huh. Well, I've looked around at everything that caught my eye, and now I'm all out of ideas. Everything except... maybe they don't know we're here. I'm going to try knocking.
What are you? Hey!
Before I get the chance, creaking oak draws my attention to an alternative entrance on the other side of the water.
Stop staring and get a move on.
If that's the kind of man walking out of this place, who's waiting for me inside? August 14th, 4:09 p.m. Ikadia Tower, residential floors. Grand Hall. Pomp and circumstance. Ceremony and ritual. For some reason, I thought that the Mafia, of all people, would be a little more efficient at their execution. A little more honest about what they are. Evidently not. The environments are so great. I love the environments here. Like, seriously, my God. This looks so good. Artifice with every glance. Costumes and makeup abound. Is this disappointment? That even here in the supposed bowels of the underworld, there's no escaping the etiquette of it all. She's the one.
Doesn't look like much.
Suddenly their posture stiffens even further. A true feat. Their necks suddenly turn to a pair of doors in the back, each of them attuned to some signal I'm not receiving.
Be still. The young master returns.
You're late. Hold on. Wait.
Young master, sir,
Everyone slow down.
came as soon as we found her, sir. Traffic was...
This is... This is just some sassy lost child. Silence.
Yes, sir.
What time were you told to return by?
4 o'clock, sir.
And what time is it now?
Permission to check my phone.
You're late. You were tasked with finding one woman and bringing her here in a timely manner.
Sir,
You'll speak when I tell you to and not one word further, or else I'll have your teeth removed. By way of curbside. Ooh. Is this a prank? Am I being recorded? He who wishes to fight must first count the cost. So says Sun Tzu. Please let this be a prank. And I don't think you can fathom the cost your tardiness has incurred. If the lead up to my execution is some kid reading from Art of War, I might just... What is the #1 rule in this family?
timeliness, sir.
When money gets wasted, it can be replaced. But time only goes one way. It's always running out. The loss is permanent. Every second wasted is a scar on this house's face. Timeliness is next to godliness. So say I. Oh, God. So if you two ever waste my time, the house's time, again, expect to be dragged through hell. I'm already there. Now both of you, get out!
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Useless. You, Red Woman, you're being addressed. Forget pride, I just want this over with as fast as possible. You're the lawyer, correct? You may answer. As fast as possible. I am a lawyer. Morgan, Criminal Defense. Mr... How should I address you? As all outsiders do, by my name.
Makoto of House Ikaria. You, Morgan, criminal defense.
Oh, God.
Have the great honor of being summoned before me. Don't bother bowing. Once you start, you'll end up prostrated all day, and we'll have important work to do.
What the fuck?
Such impudence.
Occupation, heir apparent, unemployed student. Likes biography, shogi, amber. Dislikes tardiness, tarnished group assignments. Favorite figures, Saladin, Sun Tzu, Hannibal. Favorite phase, Vi Victus. Lit woe to the conquered. Relaxes by building, painting models. And Diamani, we also have him. Collects ancient coin web peep web pages that take too long to load. Don't mention speed at which Kintsugi site loads. It's like marketing solicitors, signing things. Like libraries, voting, fast learners. Right. Out of an abundance of respect for your time, Makoto, I should let you know that I still have no idea what I'm doing here.
Oh, I'll have them kneel on a bed of nails later or some such thing. Miss Defense.
Mrs. Really? Wait, is that what he said?
Mrs. Defense. The house has need of your legal services.
Oh. Would you give me a moment to clear my throat? I need to switch gears. Un instant. Right then, so you want to hire me?
One of our own is being slandered by multiple homicide charges. You will defend him.
You want to hire me, and I'm flattered, Makoto, but did you pull my name out of a hat? Pick a random page in the phone book.
I have many books on my phone. Libraries full of esoteric knowledge spread across countless tomes. You will have to be more specific.
Sorry, I misspoke. What I mean is, this is House Ikaria. You must keep a small army of lawyers on retainer. Surely any one of them would be happy to help you.
True. We have lawyers. Competent ones, expensive ones, and some who are both. But the best of them are all preoccupied.
That's it. They're all just preoccupied.
Preoccupied means busy.
Oh my god, he's like fucking Sebastian to best. What the hell? Oh my god. Thanks. But I'm still not sure how my name specifically was...
Do you have a customer survey you want filled out, Mr. Fens? Mrs. Defense, you were recommended. What does it matter how it came about?
Normally, it wouldn't matter. But when the client I'm recommended to is one of the richest, most well-connected families in the country, it gives me pause. I don't have any friends in high places. Not anymore. That makes it hard to see this as a favor. Not when my employer doesn't even know my goddamn name. Of course, my apologies.
No doubt you have other questions. Very well, I'll permit you to ask them.
Such a gentleman. If I wasn't brought here because of what happened last night, then there's just another job. Meeting all of this, starting back at the bar. This has all just been their idea of a power move. Thank you for insisting that I get to visit your estate in person. It's beautiful here.
An oasis of old world sensibility amidst the desert of steel and neon eyesores, is what the house elders say.
I've never seen anything like it.
It matches your family's reputation for class. Ha! My family's reputation is power, not class. I'd take it a step further and guess you're renowned for violence rather than power. But that's a moot point. Violence can be classy. And from how this house is talked about in the headlines I read on the drive over, the nature of your family's reputation seems to vary greatly depending on who you ask. Some think you've got half the gangs in the city under your control. Others think you've left all that behind or are no worse than any other corporate family. Are you expecting me to ask you what you think? What I think is that I'll need some basic information if I'm to adequately defend your interests. We're financiers. You don't say. Lending, investing, taking over, buying out. The Arcadia Financial Group was founded nearly 2 centuries ago. Loaning funds is high risk and high reward. But as you can see, our results speak for themselves. Arcadia Financial Group. Fancy way of saying they got their start as mobster loan sharks. It's not impossible to get this rich with loan sharking alone. But such unsavory work wouldn't get them into the ballrooms and boardrooms tiers of society. You gotta rip people off with mortgages to do that. Is lending the house's only income stream? No. Through Aurea, our holding company, the house controls any number of what a civilian like you might call legitimate enterprises. And yes, we did found the Renigen Pharmaceutical Corporation, but what's past is prologue. Renigen? They're a drug company, one of the biggest. You're saying you have no relation to Renigen presently? The company went public years ago, and Aurea divested their shares not long after. We were given 1 seat on the board as a formality. That's the extent of it. Given. A family like this only takes. Why is he suddenly so humble? He doesn't know the meaning of the word. If he's downplaying their pull within Renigen, then the house must have a reason to want to distance themselves from the company. You're being very modest, Makoto, and more than a little vague. It's only polite. It's unnecessary, talking to your lawyer. You aren't my lawyer, Mr. Defense, but you will be working for me. So you'll have to become accustomed to putting your needs second. He's deflecting, and if he's trying to be subtle about it, he's not doing it well. Oh god, he's gonna call her that all the time. Oh my god. I doubt it's possible a company with as big a boot heel as Renigen has no relation to anything that happens in this city. But I'll drop it for now. I'm in no rush to wade into boardroom politics again anytime soon. I'd like to know a little bit more about you, actually. How long have you... I am the only son of Raphael Arcadia, and the only grandson of Daisuke Arcadia, CEO of the Arcadia Financial Group, patriarch of this family and chairman of the house. I gather that those titles are all one and the same. As one destined to succeed the headship, commanding the family servants is my responsibility and my birthright. So if one of them needs a lawyer, it falls to you? When a lawyer, men, women, or their families need help, it is my solemn duty to ensure that they are taken care of. And your age? What a boorish question. I knew that peasants raised outside our stratus had a little understanding of the finer things. But I assumed that one with a law degree would be educated enough to know what is and isn't appropriate to discuss. Just because I am younger than some does not mean I'm any less capable of managing the people who work for me. Does it, men?
Sir, no, sir.
You definitely command their respect. That is no coincidence.
One of the most frequently noted characteristics of great men who have remained great is loyalty to their subordinates. So says Georges Patton.
That's so interesting.
This is an important point. Perhaps another quote is called for.
I don't think that's necessary.
I'll grant you another. If soldiers are punished before they have grown attached to you, they will not prove submissive. And less submissive than they will be practically useless. So says Sun Tzu.
Back to back.
Yes, a second quotation was called for in this instance. If only to emphasize to you that no one stays useless to House Ikaria for very long. One way or another.
Okay, I gotta check something real quick. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. I'll admit I was a little taken aback to step off an elevator and into your enclosure out there.
The gardens? Yes. Our groundskeepers work hard on them.
Does the illusion of sky come from a live recording of somewhere else? Or is it generated programmatically? That'd take quite the equation.
It is impressive, yes. As for how it works, I don't have the technical minutiae in front of me at the moment.
That's okay.
Of course it is. A lion does not concern himself with the exterior decorations of the sheep.
It's your exterior and your decorations.
What does it matter anyway? If you want the specifics so badly, I'll have one of the servants put you in contact with the contracting firm.
That's all right. Something tells me the consultation alone would break my bank account. I do appreciate the warm welcome, Makoto of Alcicadia. Really. But legal consultations are usually more private than this. Are we certain we need the peanut gallery?
Let it not be said that Alcicadia is not accommodating of its guests. We're more than capable of compensating for this nut allergy you allude to.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. He is, oh, my God. He's literally Sebastian Devest. Oh, my God. That's so sweet of you. But do all these guards really need to be present for this conversation?
If you're referring to the additional security, it can't be helped, circumstances being what they are.
Circumstances?
And if you're referring to my retainers in general, then I suggest you take a step back into the garden and take a deep breath. Clearly the city's fumes do not agree with your constitution. You must be lightheaded if you think that you're worthy to hold a one-on-one audience with the next head of this illustrious house.
The noise, oh, that's been dead for a while. I don't have it on the, I don't have it on this new computer. That I haven't been able to play that for a while. I like on this ever since I moved to this computer. I don't think I've had that. Okay, that takes me back. He's a prodigy to be this insufferable at such a young age. Thank you for indulging my curiosity so graciously, Makoto.
Conquer the stingy through generosity. So says
Buddha.
Correct. Perhaps your education is not as deficient as I feared, Mrs. Defense. But I should make clear that in this case I was using the quote to subtly imply that you are stingy with your own graciousness.
Got it, yep. Shall we move on? I believe you mentioned a homicide.
Multiple homicides.
Tell me more.
My head of security was arrested by the police last night in the lower wards.
Oh, it was that. Oh my God, that guy. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my God.
They found him brutally beaten, drugged, and tortured. And instead of bringing him straight to the hospital, they arrested him for murder.
Oh my God.
He's been framed, and you must prove his innocence.
Un instant. Jeez.
Is there something wrong with your voice? Is it that peanut allergy you mentioned?
No, I just lost my train of thought for a second there. I'm not used to my luck changing this fast. One of the richest families in the city wants to pay me to prove a man's innocent of a crime I framed him for. Right then.
Might I ask why he was found in the lower wards? I get the impression that Ikaria territory is generally positioned more vertically. This whole city is our territory. But it's true that our presence is felt more strongly in some areas than others. They captured him early yesterday. He was ambushed by cowards and dragged down to that stain of a neighborhood to be tortured senselessly. Well, he was tortured, I can attest to that much. But I don't believe in senseless violence. There's always a purpose, and it's usually staring you in the face. People just don't like making eye contact. Do you have any idea why he was taken or by whom? It was the Blue Bloods. They made no effort to hide it. In a worthy opponent, I might call that commendable. But knowing them, they're just too stupid to value deniability. I'm sure. And I'm sure that there's no love lost between your groups. But kidnapping and torturing is beyond the pale, I agree. And the police are even worse. I expected no help from those incompetent fools. But these charges they're making, they're utterly ridiculous. Of course they are, but to think they want to pin 5 murders on him! Oh, there's another one. There we go. Oh my God, there it is. 5? Did you say 5? Oh, there we go. Hello, MF. Welcome to the stream. Okay, there was an extra one. Yes, 5! It's absurd. I can only take credit for 4 bodies. Acting so high and mighty, so affronted. That must be the cop that died. So eager to blame us for the death of one of their officers. A dead cop. Is this what those mercs were advertising themselves with? What do you mean, one of their officers? Was there a UC or... No. They've made the ridiculous claim that he killed some uniform while resisting arrest. As if a member of our house would fear prison. I should have never dared to think I got lucky here. These circumstances sound very complex, Makoto. And the police take the death of one of their own very seriously. What makes you so certain of this man's innocence? Because this man's name is Sosuke Ikaria. The Hound. I've known him all my life. All 3 or 4 years of it. There is no individual more honorable, more devoted, more trustworthy. And not once have I ever known him to be. Violent? Impulsive. He didn't do this. I know he didn't do this. But proving that is your job. About that. Oh my God, Olga, I was thinking the same thing. Yes. God damn it, Olga, I was thinking the same thing. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, Makoto. But you will. If for no other reason than because we shall pay you. More than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more. Not everything's a question of money. Yes, your meaning is taken. It needn't be silver and gold. No complaints with your compensation. The favors of House Ikaria can go a long way in this city. As can our wrath. I don't appreciate being threatened. I don't find it funny, even coming from a kid. However, if the state thinks whoever killed those 4 Blue Bloods also killed a cop, I can't afford to sit this hand out. They'll go over every centimeter of that building. One wrong move, one hair out of place, If I lose here, I lose, period. But if I win, throwing any cardia-sized wallet in the pot beforehand is all upside. I understand, Makoto of House Ikaria. I'll take Sosuke's case. You say that as if we're ever in doubt. A true prodigy. But he might be right. Maybe it never was. I chose to put that gun into this Sosuke's hands when I could have just plunged that knife into his temple. Maybe the line drawn from that moment to the razor edge I'm walking right now is perfectly straight. A line drawn from one point to another is always perfectly straight. A better metaphor would be a bullet's trajectory. For all the talk of wind resistance and breathing patterns and the Coriolis effect and chaos theory, you can't exactly act surprised when your shot lands right where the crosshairs were pointing. Morgan's my last name, by the way, before you start writing any checks. You should have enunciated! Alright, you guys. In transit. Alright, you guys. Well, we will pick this up next time. Oh my god. Woo! Oh my god, I can't wait to see where this goes. Damn, so who killed the cop? And in what circumstances? Were like they the first to find him? Like what exactly happened there? And how is she gonna like wrap up the other four into that? Huh. Interesting. I can't wait. Do they have any timetable on when cases 4 and 5, or rather 3 and 4, in their numbering are gonna come out? Does anybody know, or like no timetable for that? All right. Well, I am curious because we have more than half of the game. 3 is supposed to wait. There's 5 extra cases. Are you serious? I thought it was like the prologue and then 4 more. Really? So this is huge. My God. Really? So this does not count. So when they say 5 cases, case 0 doesn't count as part of that? My God. Wow. Huh. I didn't expect that at all, actually. It's 6 count cases. That's crazy. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's 3 more cases. God damn. So, until next time, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You're all the sweet.